Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Markets Hunters. I am your host, Hunter Gaylor, and today we've got some really exciting news because there's some relatively hot off the press news about quantum computing in QUBT. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. We've got a great episode today, short, sweet, to the point. So I'm going to bring Bob in shortly, who's the CEO of quantum computing, who our audience is very familiar with now. We're going to be talking about the first in a series of reservoir computers. They're pioneering a new era of affordable and sustainable AI. Before we get into that, and I bring Bob, just a couple of housekeeping rules. Follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn. Lots of great information coming out. We've got some new programs coming out in the near horizon. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Spotify for those that just want the audio version of this. We're getting a lot of pickup on that and a lot of more requests for that. And also, all the links that we have of these and the companies are put in the description. So if you're looking for the links, make sure you go to the description of these various podcasts and videos, and all the links are going to be there. So without further ado, let me bring in Bob. Bob, welcome to the Markets Hunter program. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Hey, Hunter, good to see you again.
Good to see you. So let's just right out of the gate, as they say, talk about this recent press release. I do have some imagery that we're going to show for our audience, but talk to us about this reservoir computer. You have it, it's out, you've released it. This represents a step in making a very largely accessible and affordable to individuals and small businesses. You are accepting orders according to the press release. So
Yep.
Let's just start from the beginning. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about it. You've been saying, look, we say what we're going to say. We're going to do what we're going to do. You're meeting the milestones. And now you came out with this reservoir computer, and it's incredible. So it's the size of a small power pack. We're going to show it here shortly while we're talking. But the floor is yours.
Well, thanks. I think, so this is just another example of, as you pointed out, we're continuing on the execution phase of the company. We've been converting technology we've had in the lab over to commercialization. This reservoir computer it's an FPGA-based computer. It's a specialized FPGA chip that we have that's, allows us to create a reservoir computer that can be an edge device, right? So this is pushing computational capability out to the edge. We think it's one of the first technologies out there like this. I don't want to make that claim uniquely, but I believe that there are very few, if any, other technologies similar to this. It's intended to be, reservoir computing is central to AI in many different ways. This handles time series data really, really well. There are a lot of efficiencies that can be achieved with this particular box, everything from speed and power efficiency, as I mentioned earlier. So it's a step in the process. It's not quantum computing. I want to make sure that's clear to everybody who's listening. This is not a quantum computer at the edge. We're going to get there, but this is a technology that we've developed along the way on the path. It's photonic inspired. Our next iteration is going to be a true reservoir photonic computer. But this is a step in between that to get to that. And we think it's got real utility to it. Computational capabilities at the edge are challenging. A lot of the AI work that's being done at the edge requires that data to be offloaded and then processed, and then the results being brought back. This is the ability to actually export that computational capability so you can get faster results. So you can do things such as, data acquisition at the edge, data processing, and then ultimately the product that you need to be able to make decisions on, all from, on the edge side. So it's a relatively low cost way for us. We think this is going to be in the neighborhood of around a $5,000 machine. Plugs into the back of your computer. It's not intended to be a standalone computer. It's going to plug into the back of your computer, be a laptop or a PC. But it's going to give you significant capability that you don't have today.
Well, and that's what's really impressive to me. And for our viewers that are watching this and not listening, I encourage our listeners to go and watch this video because I did have it up there and kind of showing you the size of this. I have a glasses case, and it's just a little bit bigger than this. It's like kind of a battery pack that you have
Right.
your cell phones or something that we would plug in as an external battery pack. So I mean, the size here, Bob, is extremely impressive. And I want to talk about a little bit. And this is, I'm pulling this off of your website, okay, from QCI. So I want to make sure everyone knows that this is publicly available information. Um, it consumes 80 to 95% less energy. It's portable, standalone edge computing from anywhere, and significantly less training time. And it's affordable, a small fraction of the cost of a PC, and significantly faster processing speeds. Now, I know that's a lot. You can go to the website and look at it, but there's one particular point that I want to talk about, Bob, and that's this. It consumes 80 to 95% less energy. Now, I think this
Right.
is a game changer in the marketplace because, from just a computing standpoint, and we've talked a lot about this, with the adoption of AI, the more that people are processing, the more people are utilizing these applications, obviously that's going to create a drain, right?
Right.
That's a significant energy, okay? So if this product is consuming literally 80 to 95% less energy, this seems to me like a major conversion can take place in energy in industry from a power saving perspective.
Yeah, I think that's right, and I think that's one way of looking at it, and I think that's where we hope to see some of the advantages of the implementation of this technology clearly, whether it be in the cloud or being at the edge, right? I think as important to that is because as we talk about this being an edge device, power is a challenge at the edge, right? And you don't have power access that you ordinarily have in data centers that where a lot of this information is being offloaded and ultimately where the computations are taking place. So when we start pushing these capabilities toward the edge of the networks, you don't have power access. So there's an efficiency that's going to be achieved as a result of being able to do this. And even within data centers, if this device were to be placed in the data centers, you've got the ability to reducing power. So it's a big sort of collateral benefit that you get. Not only to get better computational capability, but to your point, you get more power efficiency as well.
Well, as the age-old saying, size matters, right? And
Yeah,
in this particular case, right, the reduction of size really does matter
it
because
does.
it takes up less space, less energy consumption, which is really good. So this is obviously a tremendous breakthrough. Tell us where you see this going from a marketplace perspective. What are your goals with
Sure.
the reservoir computer? I think that's a fair enough question to ask for
Yeah,
the
it is,
marketplace.
and it's a great question, right? So, right now we're offering, pre-orders via our website. People can not even pre-ordering. You can put an order in. What we're looking to do too, and this is something that we're going to be talking more about, but I'll kind of give you the first, opportunity to talk about it here. Is we're looking like most of these technologies. You develop them with an idea in mind in terms of a use case and an end use. And then all of a sudden the marketplace gets a hold of it, and what the marketplace is doing outshines whatever your thoughts were, what your thinking was, by orders of magnitude. And so we want to invite particularly thought leaders in the AI space, thought leaders that understand the applications of reservoir computing, to contact us with ideas that they think that they might be able to use this technology for, and we'd be very happy to collaborate with them in a very open way. Right. So on one hand, clearly I want to sell this technology to folks who already understand what they can do with edge computing, with reservoir computing at the edge. On the other hand, I want to encourage those folks who are in the research space and thought leaders that are looking to look for new applications that could take advantage of this technology to contact us, and we'll look at ways that we can collaborate. So I think like most technologies, the more we can get this in the hands of the users, the greater benefits are going to be realized.
So it sounds to me like QCI is now moving into the realm where you are launching a developer network program, very
Right.
similar to what Apple did with the iPhone. It's the exact same hardware. You're opening up this to the developer network to come in and say what applications can be built on top of this type of
That's right.
technology, and that's incredible. I know some of the organizations I've been involved with, developer networks, are critical when it comes to thinking outside of the box and having, a network and a community come together and see how can we utilize this technology to start solving problems. And I think
That's
that's
right.
really incredible. Um, One of the things that I look at now is we've seen Apple just came out with their big new announcement that they have these new, goggles that look like ski
Yeah.
goggles or whatever that are coming on. And I was reading, Bob, on a lot of the boards out there. It's so big, and you've got this big battery pack, and you've got
Right.
this comes down, and it's not like what all of the designers thought a product that Apple would come out with would look like, especially for their first gen, and the way that Apple's been an innovator in the hardware space and ergonomics and all of that. As we see these types of technologies from a hardware perspective, and we go back to the size matters. With this computational power, do you think some of the other hardware companies that require that type of processing would be flocking to the reservoir computer based on just the sheer size, power consumption, etc.?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I think it's a good observation. Yeah, we fully expect that kind of the more we get known out there in the space for doing this, I think that'll be a natural outcome. The size you refer to, actually, we haven't really engineered that size down to the form factor that it could ultimately get to. The box, needs to be engineered in a way that, it can take the size of a slot on a PC. It doesn't have to be a plug-in in the back. It can just be it can take an expansion slot. That's easily how this can go very quickly. So the size is only going to continue to get smaller, and the more we can do that, and the more utility we can find with users in the PC world and in the computing world, that will, I think it'll be a natural extension for them to be able to incorporate this technology into those platforms.
Well, I'm very excited about this because what I like about technology companies is sometimes you just have to get the product out there so that the
Right,
innovation
that's
can
right.
take place. And, a lot of companies, they talk and they want to make sure they have all the features ready before they launch. But in reality, I think we can both agree that we really don't know what the potential outcomes could be because, there's a lot of great minds out there that
Right.
can innovate on this type of platform. So I really admire the fact that you just said, look, this is it. We've got it. It's in a state that we feel comfortable putting it out to the market. And then it'll iterate down from there. I mean, we saw
Right.
that with the iPhone. I use Apple as an example. I was having a conversation with a colleague the other day. We're on like the iPhone 14 Max
Yeah.
something X or whatever. And I remember when the first iPhone came out, right?
Right.
And so iteration, technology, camera technology, everything. And I really feel we're at the same precipice for total disruption in the computing space with this type of technology. So I'm really excited. Now, for the developer network, and I want this for our listeners that may be in the engineering space or the university systems and students that may be listening, research departments, what is the best way for them to contact for the developer network? Is that a
Yeah.
special link on the website, or can they just
It is
contact?
not yet. I mean, we expect to be putting a link up there, but right now they can contact us through the website. There's a link on the web page. There's a landing page for the RC, for the reservoir computer. They can contact us via that and just put a note in there that they have a specific interest in terms of becoming a developer. But we expect to be launching the specific web page for the developer network separately here in the near future.
Okay. And the last question, I know you may or may not be able to answer, so I'll leave it open-ended on how you want to
Sure.
do it. Obviously, price point for something like this, has that been
Yeah.
determined yet, or are you in the
So I
process?
referenced it. Yeah, I think it's going to be in the $5,000 range. It may be plus or minus, right? But we think with what we have going, we're trying to keep this at a very affordable level. This goes right in our philosophy of trying to democratize, everything we're doing in quantum computing space. And eventually these costs are going to be even less than that. But for right now, that's the price point.
Well, that's pretty good as a base number to go off of, because I know some of these major gaming companies and these gaming consoles are just massive amounts of money for the processing.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how the gaming community is going to respond to this type of technology coming out from QCI. So that's very exciting. I want to just encourage everyone to please go to QCI's website, go to Quantum Computing, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram. They are putting a lot of this information out there. As I brought back up on the screen here for everyone to kind of see here, This is their Twitter page. You can follow them at QCI Quantum. This is the actual video on their site, on their social media, where you can get a little bit of a preview of what this looks like, and it's also on their website. So I want to encourage listeners and our audience to go and follow and start interacting with the company, because they're giving a lot of great information out there. So you don't have to necessarily wait for the Market Hunters podcast to come out, even though we absolutely love you being on the program and watching us. But, if you want the up-to-date, day-to-day information, please like, follow, and subscribe QCI's social media, and follow them on LinkedIn. And our quantum newsletter, I think we just broke over 500 on that, which is great, on our newsletter. And that's our long form where we cover stuff that's going on with QCI in the industry. And we put all the links there as well. So there's plenty of resources for all the audience listeners to follow what's going on with quantum computing. Their stock symbols QUBT, really exciting stuff. Bob, any final comments you'd like to leave with the audience today about the reservoir computer?
No, I think we're excited to see this hit the market. We're excited about the users that have expressed interest in working with them to determine, really the use cases for this. So no, it's just an exciting time. I appreciate the opportunity of talking about it.
Well, thank you always for joining on the program, and we'll make sure you have you back on very, very soon with more information. So thanks so much.
Appreciate it, Hunter.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Well, that was another great episode of Market Hunters, talking with the CEO of QCI, stock symbol QUBT. Incredible technology coming out. Not a bad price point when we think about it. I mean, you look at some of these gaming consoles and what these prices for, even higher end Mac products, and that's actually really game changing when we think about the computational power and energy savings. So we're very excited about that. As always, thank you for following us. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Follow us on social. We're getting a lot of great feedback on LinkedIn. And we like talking with these companies, because if it wasn't for these companies, we would not have any innovation in the marketplace. So it's very, very important. So once again, everyone, thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And don't forget to tune in to an all new episodes of Market Hunters, coming to you almost every week now. Take care.